It's midnight and you're tuning in to Nightline with me, Nurin Razmyn. The top stories. Malaysia will overcome the expected economic challenges in 2025. And Hollywood Hills fire kills at least 5, burns more than 27,000 acres of land. Good morning. Malaysia is confident of being able to overcome the expected economic challenges this year. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this confidence is based on various important initiatives launched by the government, in addition to efforts to encourage cooperation at the regional level. Speaking at the 2025 Malaysia Economic Forum, Anwar shared the country's advantages in various globally important sectors. This included in the fields of oil and gas, semiconductor, as well as Islamic finance.
We can be the global market leaders in each field. It's our neutrality, centrality, and openness for partnership that makes us a natural hub for all.
He added that Malaysia, as chairman of ASEAN this year, will play an important role to take advantage of the great potentials in this region.
ASEAN Energy Grid, from Laos across to Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. From Sarawak to IKN. Sarawak undersea cable to Semenanjung and to Singapore. It's a fantastic feat in terms of advancing ASEAN.
ASEAN is on a positive track to become the world's 4th largest economy by 2030. Meanwhile, at a luncheon with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto in the federal capital, Anwar was informed about the neighboring country's readiness to help Malaysia in the ASEAN chairmanship this year. According to Anwar, Prabowo's official visit will take place on January 27th. However, he appeared earlier on the basis of close relationships between the two countries. Trade relations, investment, border cooperation, and some arising issues were discussed in the meeting. Wisma Putra, in a statement, described Prabowo's one-day working visit as a reflection of the special relationship between Malaysia and Indonesia. It is supported by strong cooperation in various areas, including economy, socio-culture, defense, and security. In 2023, Indonesia was Malaysia's 3rd biggest trading partner in ASEAN, with total trade reaching 111.21 billion ringgit. Meanwhile, investment and trade issues will be the main agenda of Anwar's meeting with his Japanese counterpart Shigeru Ishiba on Friday. The proposal to make Sarawak an energy hub in the ASEAN region is among the matters to be discussed.
Rencana baru yang sangat kritikal dari segi peralihan tenaga atas ikhtiar Premier Sarawak Abang Jo sama Petros dan kerjasama Petronas.
Ishiba is scheduled for an official visit to Malaysia for 2 days. It is the Japanese leader's first visit to this country since taking office in October 2024. The minutes of the meeting of the Federal Territories Pardons Board, FTPB, with regard to former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Mohammad Najib Tun Razak will not be made public. Prime Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Federal Territories, Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, said it is a confidential matter and is under the FTPB's prerogative.
Minit mesyuarat adalah perkara sulit, jadi kita tak boleh buat perkara itu open lah, ya. Jadi itu hanya hak lembaga pengampunan lah.
Maknanya tidak akan didedahkan lah.
Minit mesyuarat tidak akan didedahkan.
On Wednesday, PKR's International Bureau Chief, Datuk Seri Shamsul Iskandar Akin, urged the government to publicize the minutes of the FTPB meeting on January 29th last year. He said this would end speculation over the full extent of the pardon granted to the former Prime Minister and clarify the circumstances under which the house arrest addendum was issued by the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The Education Ministry on Thursday denied talk of a leak in the 2024 Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM History Papers 1 and 2. It said a thorough investigation conducted after the circulation of screenshots and posts online revealed that the claims were unfounded. In a statement, the ministry said that the circulated screenshots only featured a list of topics from the history textbook that were speculated as potential predictions. It stressed that no actual questions from the 2024 SPM history papers 1 and 2 appeared in any of the viral posts or screenshots. The ministry added that the claims did not meet the official definition of an exam paper leakage, according to the procedures set by the examination board. It also advised SPM candidates to remain calm and focused in preparing for their exams. The government is expected to save around 7.5 billion ringgit per year from its targeted diesel subsidies. Second Finance Minister Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan said the figure is 80% more than the initial 4 billion ringgit targeted forecasted. According to Amir Hamzah, the projection is based on a savings evaluation of 600 million per month at present, thus demonstrating the effectiveness of the system.
Saya rasa the most important thing untuk Kajak is that we put in a system that actually reduces the risk for us to have ketirisan, and that's why we took a while to be able to roll it out. Jadi, because the system was decent enough, we got better results.
He added that the new subsidy mechanism has not created undue inflationary pressures. This is attributed to the diesel fleet card, which ensures the stability of essential goods prices. In addition, the targeting of the RON 95 subsidy will also implement a two-tier system, namely market price and subsidized price. However, the Economy and Finance Ministries are still discussing regarding the mechanism for the subsidies distribution to ensure its smooth implementation. The ringgit is heading on an upwards trajectory, reflecting the fundamentals and prospects of the country's growing economy. Bank Negara Governor Datuk Seri Abdul Rashid Ghaffur said that the ringgit is supported by the narrowing of interest rate differentials with the United States.
The ringgit still registered, if you look in terms of last year, we did register overall appreciation of about 2.7%, reflecting, and this does reflect the resilience stemming from the domestic strength, despite the challenging external environment that we have last year.
He added that the average daily foreign exchange trading volume in the local market increased to 18 billion US dollar compared to the 15 billion US dollar recorded the previous year. The movement of the ringgit is expected to be influenced by external developments, as the market will have to adjust to the changes in US policy under new President-elect Donald Trump. A global bond rout eased on Thursday, and the dollar held steady near its highest levels in more than a year, although stocks continued to fall, with most Asian indexes down on the day. The benchmark 10-year U.S. Treasury yield eased to 4.6648% in Asia from an overnight peak of 4.73%. Equivalent maturity Japanese government bond yields started the day by rising 1 basis point to the highest since May 2011 at 1.185%, but later followed the wider trend and were flat as of 1:37 p.m. local time. All eyes are now turning to UK bonds, which have been at the center of the sell-off, with growing concern about Britain's economic and fiscal health, despite no obvious trigger for this week's 20 BPS surge in 10-year gilt yields. Sterling sagged 0.26% to 1.23325 US dollar, extending its 0.9% slump from Wednesday. The US dollar index, which gauges the currency against sterling, euro, and 4 other major peers, edged up to 109.07. China narrowly avoided slipping into deflation in December, with inflation rising at its slowest pace in 9 months, official figures showed on Thursday, as officials struggle to kickstart consumer activity in the world's number 2 economy. The tepid reading comes after Beijing unveiled a range of measures at the end of last year, aimed at boosting consumption as well as providing support for the troubled property sector, including interest rate cuts. However, data showed that has not yet filtered through, with the Consumer Price Index (CPI) easing to 0.1% last month from 0.2% in November. The reading is the lowest since March. In Johor, a former prisoner released from custody in July 2022 was arrested by a team of policemen on suspicion of masterminding a drug trafficking syndicate that used luxury condominiums as storage facilities. The arrest led police to seize drugs weighing a total of 96.8 kilograms worth 13.6 million ringgit. The 29-year-old local man was detained along with 4 other individuals believed to be members of the syndicate in an operation conducted between 12:30 a.m. on January 5th and 8 p.m. late Wednesday. Johor Police Chief Com Dato M. Kumar said the mastermind of the group and 2 other suspects tested positive for ketamine.
Mastermind untuk kumpulan ini pernah ditangkap sebelum ini dan tindakan LLPK telah diambil. Suspek baru keluar daripada tahanan iaitu pada tahun 2022.
The drugs seized were ecstasy powder, ketamine, and Aramin pills. All the suspects are remanded for 7 days until Saturday for investigation under the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. In Johor, a former chairman of Koperasi Felda Selancar 3 Pahang was fined 22,500 ringgit by the Johor Bahru Sessions Court on Thursday for 15 charges of forgery involving checks worth 34,450 ringgit. Judge Dato Ahmad Kamal Arifin Ismail imposed the sentence after the accused, 68-year-old Saad Razali, maintained his guilty plea made during his initial charge on January 30th, 2024. The accused was fined 1,500 ringgit for each charge, with 1 month's imprisonment for non-payment in default. Saad was accused of dishonestly using forged documents as genuine, specifically bank checks belonging to Koperasi Peneroka Felda Selancar 3 Pahang Berhad, with amounts ranging from 650 to 5,000 ringgit issued to various individuals. The offences were committed at a bank in Segamat between September 27, 2019 and October 18, 2021. Saad was charged under the Penal Code, which carries a maximum penalty of 2 years imprisonment, a fine, or both upon conviction. In Sabah, a man died after 2 vehicles collided head-on at Jalan Kelampung in Tawau on Thursday. The victim, who was in his 40s, was trapped in his vehicle after the van he was driving crashed onto a 4-wheel drive vehicle. A spokesperson from the Sabah Fire and Rescue Department said they received a distress call regarding the accident at 7:31 a.m. Upon arrival, the firefighters discovered that both drivers were trapped in their vehicles and had to use special equipment to rescue both of them. However, the van driver was confirmed dead at the scene by medical personnel. The pickup truck driver was severely injured and was sent to the Sempurna Hospital. National doubles pairs winning run continues. Action from the Malaysia Open after this breather.
So waktu basking tu pernah lah sekali tengah menyanyi macam tu, main lagu slow sikit boleh tak? Bising lah. Direct macam tu. Pernah kena tipu, pernah kena pijak dengan orang sekeliling. Diorang gunakan saya macam tu. Pernah juga sampai duduk seorang diri lah. Tak keluar mana-mana selama sebulan juga lebih kurang. Muzik pun tak main. Why? Jangan nak yang orang. Tak baik. Saya cuba untuk tidak membenci. Saya cuba untuk ambil itu sebagai semangat untuk saya bangkit lagi.
Ada inisiatif mendalamkan dan melebarkan Sungai Kelang sepanjang 56 km.
Saya mula menubuhkan satu pasukan khususnya pemburuan ikan bandaraya.
Kehidupan di dalam sungai dah mula ada balik.
Majalah 3 Kapsul, Sabtu 10 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Ada drama baru lah kat Facebook. Nak download lah tu. Ingat jangan download ataupun share laman web Cetak Rompak. Jangan.
We're back with sports badminton, the 2025 Malaysia Open. After a poor showing from the national shuttlers on the first and second days, fans were visibly overjoyed on Thursday when two national men's pairs qualified for the quarterfinals with superb wins in their last 16 games. First up were Ong Yu-sin, Cho Yi, who continued their fine run by defeating South Korea's 2023 world champion Kang Min-hyuk and his new partner Shin Yong 23-21, 16-21, 21-18. They will take on India's Satwik Sairaj Ranki Reddy, Chirag Shetty next. Joining them were Man Wei Chong, Ti Kai Woon, who put in a dominant performance by dispatching Taiwan's Li Juhui, Pang Po Swan 21-15, 21-13 in just 31 minutes. Next up, Wei Chong Kai Woon will face French duo Thomas Junior Popov, Christophe Popov for a spot in the semi-finals. However, the same cannot be said for Aaron Chia So Woo Yik after the world number 6 suffered a shock second round 14-21, 18-21 defeat to Li Fangqi, Li Fangzhen. It was Aaron Woo Yik's first defeat in 3 matches against the Taiwanese pair. Nur Muhammad Azrin Ayub, Tan Wei Kyong also crashed out in the second round after going down to Shetty Ranki Reddy 15-21, 15-21. In the mixed doubles action, top shuttlers Chen Tangji, To Yi-wei crushed Taiwan's Hu En-su, Lu Ming-che 21-8, 21-14 to storm into the quarterfinals. The third-seeded pair hopes to check into the last 4 by getting past Japan's Hiroki Midorikawa, Natsu Saito next. Following in their footsteps were another mixed doubles duo, Go Soon-hwat Chevon Lai, who delivered another easy win, defeating India's Sathish Karunakaran, Ajia Variyath 21-10, 21-17. Awaiting Soon-hwat Chevon in the next round are China's Chen Jing Zhang Ji. However, it was the end of the road for women's doubles shuttler Vivian Hu Lim Chu Sen. Vivian Chu Sen put up a fierce fight against China's Tan Ning Lu Shengshu, but the Olympic Games silver medalist proved too difficult to overcome as they suffered a 6-21, 5-21 defeat. Tennis now, the 2025 Adelaide International. Felix Auger-Aliassime advanced to the semi-finals after a straight sets win over American Marcus Giron on Thursday. The Canadian came through 7-6, 6-3 and will next face another American and top seed Tommy Paul for a place in the final. The 5th-seeded Auger-Aliassime had 11 aces to Giron's 2 and took 80% of first serve points won to Giron's 65. Earlier, Paul duplicated his final 4th place in Adelaide from 2020 with a defeat from Rinky Hijikata. The world number 12, who is aiming for his 5th ATP Tour title, displayed his prowess to secure a 6-3, 6-4 win over the Australian. In the women's event, top seed Jessica Pegula moved into the semi-finals after Ashlyn Kruger was forced to retire due to injury. The world number 7 Pegula led 6-4 to love in the All-American quarter-final when Kruger called the trainer before subsequently retiring. Pegula will face Yulia Putintseva for a spot in her first final since the US Open. 5 killed in New Hollywood Hills wildfire. The details when Nightline returns.
So waktu busking tu pernah lah sekali tengah menyanyi macam tu, main lagu slow sikit boleh tak? Bising lah. Direct macam tu. Pernah kena tipu, pernah kena pijak dengan orang sekeliling. Diorang gunakan saya macam tu. Pernah juga sampai duduk seorang diri lah. Tak keluar mana-mana selama sebulan juga lebih kurang. Muzik pun tak main. Why? Jangan anak yang orang. Tak baik. Saya cuba untuk tidak membenci. Saya cuba untuk ambil itu sebagai semangat untuk saya bangkit lagi.
Setiap dari kita ada kehidupan dan cara yang berbeza-beza. Tapi kalau di Kongkong macam mana? Sehari tak makan nasi, rasa tak kena hidup ni. Jom saya kongsikan pelbagai variasi nasi. Stres itu perkara biasa ataupun satu masalah? Saya kira itu faktor penerimaan kita. Curang, jangan biarkan ianya berlaku. Curang itu pilihan Tafiza. Jodoh, tentulah rezeki yang tidak dijangka-jangka. Jodoh itu rahsia Tuhan. Semuanya di Wanita Hari Ini dan stream sekarang ditonton.
Wanita Hari Ini.
Mak Ngah rasa Mak Ngah selalu tepuk muka Mak Ngah. Mak Ngah kata, minta Allah kata ni mimpi. Tapi Mak Ngah dah cuba banyak kali, bukan mimpi. Rupanya betul.
Kalau tak ada Mak Ngah, saya tak tahu lah macam mana saya nak jaga seorang-seorang. Sebab Mak Ngah ni, dia bukan tolong separuh je. Dia tolong semua.
And we're back with news from the foreign front. A new wildfire that raced across the Hollywood Hills early Thursday have killed at least 5 people, put tens of thousands under mandatory evacuation orders, and burned more than 27,000 acres, equivalent to nearly 20,000 football fields. The largest ones, the Palisades and Eaton fires, have destroyed at least 2,000 structures and are already the 2 most destructive ever to hit Los Angeles. 5 bodies were found in 3 structures in Altadena, where the Eaton fire exploded Tuesday night, giving residents little time to flee. However, the causes of death for the 5 bodies found have not been determined. Elsewhere, while the LA County Fire Chief said there had been no fatalities in the Palisades fire, officials had seen a high number of significant injuries to residents who did not evacuate, in addition to first responders who were on the fire line. According to the LA County Fire Department, it is estimated that more than 1,000 structures have been destroyed in the Palisades fire and another 1,000 either damaged or destroyed in the Eaton fire. Meanwhile, firefighting resources were strained further when the Sunset Fire erupted in the Hollywood Hills area around 5:45 p.m. local time on Wednesday, prompting evacuations in the Runyon Canyon area. The causes of the fires are under investigation and all remained 0% contained. Meanwhile, the wildfire that burned about 200 acres and threatened homes in an upscale suburb of Los Angeles has forced the evacuations of the residents after officials had already warned of extreme fire danger from dry, powerful winds.
We saw some literally flaming debris landed in the road near where we were standing. So it seemed to me, let's get out of here. But whatever I lose, and there's nothing I can do about it.
I've never seen anything fires were this close to the cars. People left their cars on Palisades Drive, burning up the hillside, the palm trees, everything's going.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol on Thursday said he will accept the decision of the Constitutional Court that is trying Parliament's impeachment case against him, even if it decides to remove the suspended leader from office. Speaking to the media, his lawyer stated that if the decision is removal, it must be accepted. Yoon had earlier ignored the Constitutional Court's request to submit legal briefs before the court began its hearing on December 27th. However, his lawyers have said Yoon was willing to appear in person to argue his case. They added that the president was currently at his official residence in Seoul and appeared healthy. Previously, presidential security guards resisted an initial effort to arrest Yoon last week, though he faces another attempt after a top investigator vowed to do whatever it takes to break a security blockade and take in Yoon. Chinese health authorities on Thursday said they had detected the new mutated Mpox strain clad IB as the viral infection spreads to more countries after the World Health Organization declared a global public health emergency last year. Officials said a cluster outbreak has been found of the IB subclad that started with the infection of a foreigner who has a history of travel and residence in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. 4 further cases have been found in people infected after close contact with the foreigner. The patient's symptoms are mild and include skin rash and blisters. Mpox spreads through close contact and causes flu-like symptoms and pus-filled lesions on the body. Although usually mild, it can be fatal in rare cases. Zionist forces have killed at least 50 Palestinians across the Gaza Strip on Thursday, as authorities warn the Al-Aqsa, Nasser and European hospitals face imminent closure over dire fuel shortages. Major operations at the Al-Aqsa hospital have been downsized in order to provide enough fuel for more essential departments, such as the intensive care unit. The nearly depleted fuel for the generators is jeopardizing the functionality of the crucial medical equipment. In a statement, Hamas said Israel deliberately exacerbates the situation of the healthcare system by preventing fuel from reaching hospitals. They added that the restrictions are part of its broader strategy to dismantle the healthcare sector. Concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as archaeologists in Egypt have uncovered intact portions of the foundation wall of Pharaonic Queen Hatshepsut's Valley Temple in Luxor. With that, I'm Nurin Razmyn. Thank you for watching and stay safe.